Jeffrey Toobin. So what surprised you today, if anything?
How hostile the conservatives were to Trump. Here we have, it's been 10 months that he's been president, and the Supreme Court, in mostly these short orders, has given him basically everything he wanted. But the conservatives were really loaded for bear today. They were not impressed with the tariffs. Now, how they will rule ultimately, I don't know. You can be deceived by oral arguments, but this was a very rough day in the office for the Solicitor General.
And what's the core dispute?
It's actually very simple. What the challengers to the tariff say is that these are taxes. These are ways the government is raising money. Under Article 1 of the Constitution, it is only the Congress that can pass taxes. The president cannot impose taxes in this form, and that argument made a lot of headway.
Does it matter that the president has been out there saying how much money has been raised?
Technically, probably not, but the justices live in the real world, and they know that, too. The Solicitor General tried to make the argument not just that the tariffs were part of national security, international relations, which is something that the president is responsible for, but the money is the money. And every time they kept coming back to the fact that, look, this operates like a tax, and that is not something the president can do unilaterally.
This was done on an emergency basis. How quickly might there be an actual ruling?
Well, usually with big cases, it's not till June, but because this is such a moving target and the tariffs are in effect now, I would expect a ruling probably before the end of the year. And the real complexity is if they rule against the tariffs, they have to give all the money back.
Really?
Yeah, and that becomes a tremendous logistical problem and a fiscal problem for the United States because, as the president has said, this has generated a tremendous amount of money. That's a problem that came up in the oral argument, but if they actually rule against the president, it will be a huge issue.
Is it possible that they could, rule that, okay, it's not, you can't do this, but you don't have to give the money back?
Yes, they could, because they're the Supreme Court. They get to do stuff that they want. And I think even though legally that might be difficult to justify, logistically it would be tremendously simpler.
Right. It's incredible. And is there likely to be a swing vote?
The only justice who seemed completely sympathetic to President Trump was Brett Kavanaugh. John Roberts, Neil Gorsuch seemed particularly, Amy Barrett. Again, that they might vote with Trump, but they certainly didn't sound like it today.